viewers. These are not the ones I want, but they're not for a long Monday. You might not want to, but soon I want to pick up some of those. Yeah. That was what that other bean. That dog hair stuck to my shirt. Welcome, welcome. Just in time for me to sit down with the coffee and chit chat. I'm going to put the title. Let's see here. I'm going to put the title in for the scrollers. Otherwise, might not notice it. Just give me a moment. Okay. Gonna be good, okay? I'm gonna attempt to. The device is being slow. Good morning. I'm just putting in the title for the scrollers. Once the chat on the computer lets me. In the meantime, I will most likely see them also on the phone, any conversation. So the first question I have that I looked up some samples of to bring into this is, what does an ideal perfect day look like to you? Okay, let's put this in here. Well, there it is. Hello again, Formula. How are you? Good day, and to the other two of you as well. Looks like I did the right thing in the past. One of you. Okay, there we go. Clearly not the cool Dean. I'm just dealing with Joel right out the gates, but we got three others here as well as you. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I only just started the day about an hour ago, but it's a relaxing Sunday after a busy Saturday, so I don't know how to get that side panel. I can't, I guess, get it to. Anyway, don't forget to like, and I forget where in the world you're watching from and like what time of day it is there. Aside from that, some of the more creative questions is, what is a dream that you've put on hold and why? Thank you for the like. Uh, how do you want to be remembered when you pass away? I'm just gonna go put our dog upstairs with the other person in the house because he's being noisy down here. He was laying on the chair fine, and then he went. I'm sending him upstairs. Okay. Just make sure the door's open, okay? Got him? I'm glad you didn't have to wait too long for a familiar person. Mind, I'm okay with newbies as well, but sorry about that. Okay, now I come back and. Oh, formula, are you still here? Or actually, it's formula, which sounds a bit more natural to call someone for some reason than formula. I know that you're, I think, into like racing stuff, but which can be pretty dangerous. But it's I, um, but I guess it sounds like a foreign name. Maybe it is, but I think it. I think with the yeah. Anyway, um, what's more one small thing that you could do today to become a better version of yourself? I like that question too. And you know what? We all have can have an answer for it. I don't care how great somebody is, you know, or even how successful and accomplished a person they are. I feel like we could all have an answer for that latter question. So, two of you just tuned in, so I'll ask it again. Again, like I say, I feel like everybody, no matter who you are, could have an answer for this. Although now it's down to one again, and I'm not sure if it's the person that already heard me say it. Say it. Said it. You guys said it and you forget it? I could stand to have more milk in here. I don't want to get up against it. It's okay. I'm going to start to guess that formula is formula died or that it just had something come up. I'm going to try and have these both visible at the same time, but it might not be totally doable. But I'll just go between the two. Next, to make this even more interactive, if somebody could please pick a number between 20, not between this and this, but pick one of these numbers 20, 50, 36, 5, or 10. And what it is they're drop downs with some random Q&A, like get to know people kind of questions. I got this idea last night from a site I was looking at, and I thought, you know what, that'd be cool for you too. I mean, it kind of happens anyway, but I'm trying to make it happen with more precision, So 20, 50, 36, 20, sorry, 20, 50, 36, or 5. I don't know with 20 being in there twice if I am. I think there's another number in there twice too, yeah. If I'm thinking less likely that one or if people are struggling to pick, by the way, song requests are also welcome. I'll go with 36. This is a good question, a creative question. Before making a telephone call, do you rehearse what you're going to say? There's that one again about what would make a perfect day for you. Uh, um, So you can answer any of these that you wish to. Or request a song, or if you're like, I don't want to answer questions, I don't want to request songs, I just want to talk about something weighing on my heart, you're welcome to do that as well. I don't know if people would like this question or not, if it might be a little bit. I think it could be done in a kind of a vague way, and almost in a general but not super general way. The sample question is, can you tell me about the important people in your life? I'll keep answering questions. I mean, you might be working on an answer as I'm doing this, but um, I kind of have an answer I can give for the next one that pops right up to me. Um, it is, what have been some of the happiest moments in your life? Well, aside from live streaming, and now it looks like maybe nobody's watching at the moment, but I'm only 11 minutes in. It hasn't really gathered an audience yet. Um, but back to my school days, I would say, in my extracurricular activities I did as a kid, some other different groups or classes that I've been in as an adult. Um, and I had a couple jobs that usually I didn't mind. Um, who's someone who's been the biggest influence on your life? Can you tell a moment? Sorry, if these are going fast, just say you're working on an answer. And if you're having a hard time multi-focusing, I can slow down. Can you tell me about a moment when a person's kindness what made a difference in your life? I don't think kindness is always impactful. This one I have to read this section because of what they call it, as soon as I can get it to load. I mean, truth be told, I'm still kind of waking up. I'm not super duper social, but um, there were some drop downs that came above what I clicked, and it kind of confused me. And there's no examples in the one I clicked for some weird reason. Um, this would be a good one for anybody who's followed me. See how much they're paying attention when it loads. I went quiet because it doesn't look like anybody's viewing. But I don't. Oh, now there is. So just a moment. Wait, sorry. If you're comfortable, sit. It's a really odd question. Ideal map. Do you have any unique talents? That's a good question. Um, ooh, I like that question. I love this question. I'm going to ask it. There's only one of you here at the moment, but I've only been rolling for 15 minutes. And I think the other person that was here, either something came up for them or their phone may have died, because he seemed, he was here the other night and seems to be happy to be here. Um, who are you jealous of? I don't care who you are. We're all jealous of somebody, I think. And yeah, some of us may say it's not a great characteristic, but still it does, we all are of somebody. Um, when was the last, let's see here. What's a powerful question? Just looking for sample questions. You're welcome to ask me some as well, or song request. Don't forget to like as well. I appreciate it. The 4 great questions of life. Aren't that great? What are fun, light-hearted questions to ask? So you can see the highlighted comment is pretty short. That's what I'm pretty much doing here today. I don't know if I like this one particular question or not. If you could design a new school subject, what would it be and why? That's kind of a cool one. Here's what I'm making up. What is something in your life that you feel you don't have as much hope or hope about as you used to? And I know that one is kind of deep and it might, be stirring up feelings, but we can talk about it and either find ways to let it go or restore the hope for you. So, um, or in other words, what is a goal that you have that you, yeah, I read a similar question actually that I found that you've put aside essentially. I think was kind of how it worded it. I'm just rubbing lotion on, get dry hands, and I got a bit more than I meant to put on. I'm just okay. Oh, I didn't know that. There is a certain base card that a particular suit does not have has not have a mustache. I never looked that closely. I suppose card game aficionados and gamblers might know better than me. This is a very interesting category, which I might not say what the category is. As interesting as it is, I'll just tell you what's in it. As soon as we get viewers. Saving my energy for that and waking up slowly. It's soda season. Okay, so I'm just opening a place I might go get some treats from later. The website to go back to. Yeah, I know I said there was a great category. I don't really like the 4 or 5 things that are in it, though. Or at least at first look, I don't. These are more some interesting facts than they are questions. I'm not too sure I understand this one. It says adult cats only meow at humans. Is that saying that kittens don't, or that they don't meow at anything else? Because I don't think the latter is true. I don't know if this is true or just something that's supposed to sound interesting. A day on Venus is longer than its year. I think I knew that octopuses have 3 hearts. Whether I believe it or not, I don't know, but I think I knew it. That can't be true. I mean, because how? Why would it? We've been watching a lot of Cirque du Soleil, so I think that actually some people might actually be able to lick their own elbow. I would believe this. I would believe this, having seen hippos occasionally, not in person, not often, and I think they can actually move faster than one would think. But you could fit a full car or a small car in them. Um, so you can see the highlighted question. It's short, and that's what I'm doing in this video. So just scrolling through some questions. I've read a few, but it's been kind of quiet. It's been flashers along the top. People that don't have much attention span, you know the type. I'm not trying to be mean, but that seems to be exactly what they're doing. Unless their phones are dying or something has come up for them with around them, and they just couldn't be here. Any of those are possibilities that I will accept. Um, and now we don't have like drop down ones. We have particular sites. Which here's a couple more drop downs. Let's see here. Who would you choose if you could be friends with a fictional character? I don't read a lot of books. Uh, Probably somebody Disney, but I'm not sure. Not too sure with that one. This is called What Are the I thought it said 10. Yeah, 10, and then it shows me 14. Yeah, I can't count today, apparently. Um, Tough questions, and it even says they're answered, but I guess I have to click to the site. And it's on Britannica, so it should be legit. Right? Otherwise, I don't know. Whoa, what are they good for? Absolutely nothing. I'll say it again. Basically, I know that's controversial because a lot of people. I don't even want to get into that one. I don't even want to get into that one, but I think um, in everybody's hearts, even those that go into the services, I think there is definitely a part of them, one, that doesn't want to do it, and two, that probably really feels like you'd rather be doing something else. And why is there all this unnecessary here? Why not? Some people think it's. Anyway, might be one that a lot of us will have to agree to disagree on, but I know some people will agree. So, um, if you could add a new word to your everyday vocabulary, what would it be? I feel like I have an answer on the tip of my tongue with it, but not really. More than one. I tell you, the universe seems to think that I hope that's not some sort of. I mean, my neuropathy actually has been a lot better. I feel like, I can only equate it to I've been eating a bit better. I think, and I no, I haven't been. Yes, the other day, yeah, but I haven't been that much more active, and I haven't been taking the vitamins daily. But no, it's been actually almost not noticeable some days. Um, but I do sometimes get chilly feet. Um, Even in socks, or when I'm going down to put laundry in or whatever. Um, the basement floor doesn't get cleaned as often, and so um, we have some plants stored down there right now, and so bits of plants and things, on shoes or whatever get. I don't know. I mean, I do. I sometimes think I'm too young to be wearing slippers, and I'm not really one to do so. But I have a little bit lately. I look at them as slip-ons to wear around the house. I also have a pair of slip-on shoes that I've been wearing, and then there's a sock. And I don't see the matches for any of them, and I don't know why. Although I'm pretty sure or two of them have fallen behind that chair and the stuff. But yeah, it's as if I'm meant to only have. Anyway, no. Oh, not. I know what I might get from that place later. I might have to heat it up when I get up later. Okay, so I'm going to do this category, whether you're familiar with me or not, very much, because I'd be curious to know your first answers. Um, Now I'm a little bit confused. I guess that's a different question or a different category. Okay, so I would really like to find my other sock. That's what I'd really like to do. But anyway, um, I'll try and ignore my coral feet. I do have them covered, so hopefully. they warm up. Thanks for the heart. Let me just see if anything's coming in on this other tab here. Not yet. Okay. So this section, I'm not meaning for it to seem conceited at all. It's just I'm looking at sample Q&A questions to ask in conversation, just for something fun and random to do. And this particular category is how well do you feel you know me? So whether you have ever seen my videos or not, I'd be curious for you to make some guesses. But I'm going to ask ones that I think might be a bit easier. What's the best gift I've ever given to somebody? And then also feel free to say what you feel is the best thing you've ever given and received. This one I'd like to say that there's answers for, by the way. What's a mantra or affirmation I believe or utilize often, but I don't know if I really have any. I know what came to mind for me about the previous question, but also this is only 30 minutes in, so somebody that may see this afterwards may want to answer it. So I don't want to give my answer yet. This may have came up on the channel before. But yeah, I had a bit of thought down here earlier, I thought. So again, whether you've ever seen my videos or not, and it's been a bit of a slow start. There's been a couple people here. One of them, I think, didn't want to leave, but had okay, whatever. Mark and Kelly, where are you? And Oliver, the other people from the UK, and other people. Where are you? Hmm. This has gotten quiet and boring. Okay, well, I have the radio on. Elvis, classic. Um, so again, whether okay, tough crowd today, or lack thereof, one for the most part. The Alex have been helping out lately, and saw my hand move. I thought a comment came in on the screen. um, so I kind of like to play a little game other than some music. Okay, yeah, maybe they have a certain ring to it, but not how I meant it. Just it varies. Some of the videos, people are in here more chatting, and other times it's like pulling teeth. I tell you. And I didn't go. I didn't become a dentist for a reason. So aside from doing music, I kind of had this idea to, and I'm not going to make it just about me because that's never my intent, but it is a category on a site where it says, how well do you know me? And even if you've never seen me in videos before up till this point, okay. Next time I'll just jump right into it, although I think it's kind of obvious that that's kind of the format. But I have a method that I'm going to try and use. So method for the man this day. Maybe I'll watch back a bit of Mark and Kelly while I'm waiting and bored, so I feel like they're here before they're probably going to be here. Because he knew it was going to go Sunday, and he said he was going to likely be there. And he is often more available on the weekend when they're not doing their lives. But he was on the one the other day, so that doesn't mean he can't be on this one too. And he probably got the notification, but I don't seem having to do a lot of modding or doing a lot of treasure. It's amazing. They're so authentic and genuine, like I try and be. Well, fairly naturally, yeah. Oh, I think I found him. But I actually just remembered something that I found out about. What is this? I have no clue. A weird setup outside the window that looks like video game themed, and I don't understand. Um, so in a moment, I'm gonna switch to. Okay. I mean, honestly, it's just people scrolling at this point. It seems like. mind. Keep it warmer than that. Yeah, as it is, that Friday thing of maybe going to go to, it looks like the weather's not going to be great. And it's so darn early. But I'm going to watch for some of the other events, but they're all going to be around the same time, I think. But as the weather gets nicer, it'll be a bit more intriguing to go to. But it sounds like I didn't realize it, but and it's only 10 o'clock, but it sounds like it's very windy out and very cold. So it is. Well, it's possible that I don't know. Sometimes the business side, but they don't actually see too much or say anything. But it's possible that people that are familiar with me, whether they've seen any of this while it's live or just see it afterwards, they might watch this far in. I'm thinking a little bit more likely they might just skip ahead a little bit. Uh, but so even though there's nobody here, I kind of want to keep the momentum going. I do feel like this might be one of those mornings though where I get a little bit easily lightheaded and congested if I'm talking too much and too rapidly and tight chested just because I'm feeling kind of low energy. So I don't want to use it all before there's anybody here that will actually appreciate, you know, my time and energy and the fact that I'm doing this live stream. I remember seeing that. I don't exactly know what it is. It's only a video 12 years ago. I don't know if he's in it or not. I don't understand the title other than the part of it looks like a name. I don't think it's even in English. Almost looks like a TV reality show. It's from Denmark, whatever it is. I'm not really sure what it is, to be honest. Well, not everything, because he told us that they don't like certain things, which makes sense and is appreciated. So I may have just become no longer a fan of Matt Fraser, unfortunately. I know I didn't like after he let a dog hanging out the window as she was driving, and the nails don't make sense, and there's a couple other things, but I otherwise do like her. Would hate to write her off, too. I have to think about that first name, but let me just look at something there. I realize I should read this. So, I think it was in the other tab, just a moment here, or other window, that I had something open. What is a unique hobby or skill that you have? And if you know me well enough, or want to make a guess, one that you think I have. I think certain people that have been to this channel often will know what I'm talking about. And you best not say music, because even though I do feel like it's a talent or a skill that I have, I wouldn't say that it's unique. Is my approach to it at all unique? When I do the fusion stuff, maybe a little bit. And one thing I will say that is kind of interesting that I noticed as someone that's musical is when I'm singing along with a song that I don't really know very well, or that might have like certain repeated parts, but sometimes they sing them slightly different. I usually match them quite well, and otherwise I harmonize. I sort of have a feeling, just knowing his style, that my one friend that I'm just thinking about, if he's not busy and is at home, he's streaming. And I looked a few moments ago and he wasn't. So, I don't know what time it's been, but it might be 11:26. Either that or he's up bright and early on a Sunday. He's not someone that goes to church, but he's not someone who's anti those people and certain aspects of that. I think he has opinions just like any of us do. What is a moment of personal growth that you're proud of? The one under this I kind of like also, on this site that I'm looking at. It says, what is a cherished item or keepsake that do you know what one? I might well, like, it's interesting, like it's really hard to keep the momentum going because we're getting a lot of flashers in this one at the top that aren't there for more than a few seconds. That's pretty rare. Usually they stay for longer, whether they say something or not. And lately, the numbers have been better, so I'm not too sure. All I can say is there's a lot of stuff on this platform, and yeah, sometimes the ads aren't helping out as much as other times. So. But whether this one picks up and does better, or sometimes it does take almost an hour, whether it does or whether it doesn't, I may still stream later today, and especially seeing how the weather is, even though the sun's shining, I don't think we're going anywhere. So, oh, hello, William Afton. How are you? Welcome. Where are you watching from in the world? And is this your first time to the channel, and how did you come across it? Seems to be a bit of a delay saying that you're here at the top, but I do see your comment. So, do I know FNAF? I don't believe so. What is it? Is it sport related? Oh, or Federal National something. something. Apparently not. And why do you randomly ask? Out of curiosity. Is that a movie? Sounds like a movie to me. Who is Freddy? It's interesting how you just jump right in with it. Obviously, that's really what's on your mind, and you're looking for other people to talk to about it. I hope that you. I don't know why it's not indicating at the top that you're watching, because you obviously are. I hope that you will like. I hope that you will stay for a while and chat. I don't know how much I'm going to have to say about that, though, because yes, I don't know of it. And interesting that it's both a game and a movie, though. I'm not sure if it would be my type of thing or not. Oh, I thank you very much. Do you also post? Um, and I'm doing some Q&A, and I'm also taking, thanks for the like, I'm also taking some song requests and musical. So, I guess then you post about movies, and possibly games. I just hope that they're cool, you know. But anyway, I have a question here in front of me on this site I'm looking at, which is, what is your most cherished item? And it's interesting because when I look at the table in front of me, although I've since moved the phone, which probably would have been, I know, right? It probably would have been one of your guesses. There's a lot of stuff on that table, but there's at least 3 other items that, maybe 4, and I bet you won't guess them. I'll say that 2 are kind of kitchen related, although that really narrows it down, especially for one of them, I think. One of them, I don't know if I should give a clue or not, but the other one's kind of holiday themed. And I feel like people who have seen my videos before might guess that one, especially since, Christmas was not super far ago. But, and it's just, it was somewhere else. I brought it back here. I don't see it as only being special for the holidays. So, and yeah, feel free to say your favorite keepsake item as well. And then there's another one here that, what is a cherished friendship that has had, I noticed that it says had, I'd rather it say that has, it actually says has had, a significant impact on your life. See, that one's a hard one. We meet so many people in our lives. Although, there's a couple that I follow on here, like, I don't know if they, I think they are married. I've seen a wedding photo of theirs that they posted in a slideshow, I think. And, I would definitely say them. They might be a little bit surprised that they're the first one I said, but I'm kind of thinking about them as I'm doing this. And of course, other viewers and the person I live with, and it, since it says friendship, I guess I could say our dog. Other than that, I'd be kind of looking a little bit, you know, back in time. I have an interesting answer, actually. Speaking of open mics I used to do the other day, there was a lady that used to go there. I've lost touch with her. She's not very much. Well, she is a little, but not much, and I've not been able to. And I think she may have moved to Scotland because she was from there. But a lady I used to see at them fairly often, and also a lot of them are angels now. But well, she might well be because she was up there in age. And aside from the fact that she was just a nice person, she had the same. She used the same Scottish accent dialect that my grandmother had. And I haven't, maybe some people like in movies or whatever, but really, even that, I haven't come across a lot. Mind, I haven't went looking either, but, well, not often. William, are you still there? You seem like you were happy to be here, but... And I think that indicator is wrong. Maybe I'm just talking too quickly. I don't know. You think this is quick? You should hear me talk quick. I can talk really quick, you know. If I want that quick, I can talk quick, and you know, blah, blah, blah. It's easier when I know what it is I might say. Um, Maybe your phone died, or you really just decided at the moment I really want to talk about this movie. Hmm. What has been a life-changing decision that you have made? Hopefully, for the better. And if not, you know, I can understand that that would probably be painful and hard to accept. And if that's the case, you know, I'd like to offer that I could help you to maybe look at it differently. Hmm. I really like that one. I feel like regardless of when somebody might see this comment that I'm about to put, under 5 minutes is under 5 minutes. It almost doesn't matter if I'm a little bit delayed on that then, although I'm going to try not to be, because under 5 minutes is under 5 minutes no matter when I start going. Sometimes I put a timestamp, but a lot of people won't be seeing the timestamp anyway, so unless it's after the fact, and we're an hour in, so. Ooh. that was almost 5 minutes. It was just like 2 or 3. Oh, I just found out something. Whatever. Not to be. Different 5 minutes, 10 to 5 minutes, another. There's somebody kind of on my mind because I thought I may have met someone who may have met them, and this the type of performance style that they do. I have seen a few times. So let me go see if I can bring him in. Although I must say I'm a smidgen embarrassed because this one's quieter. But I mean that's not my fault. I mean, people don't want to stick around. They don't want to stick around. So usually they do. This is the thing. And like, there's been a couple people. One of them I've seen on a couple of my videos so far. One of them I think it was the first time. And and the people that like me and appreciate my company are the people that I obviously appreciate most. And they are, But these other two, they seem like they want, I got the impression, unless it was just, what it felt like on my end, but they seem like you know, they both sub to me. They like me, enough to do that and, pop in at least briefly. So, I don't know. I think that they didn't really want to leave. They didn't intend to, but they did. It may be an experience there, but I don't need to rely on the other stuff out there. I'm just about to send something through to somebody, and then I'm available to focus again. I just want to go to the other window to bring up what I want to bring into this. Okay, yeah. It was interesting that Razor was sending that. Somebody tuned in. I really like this question. I think they've been a bit quieter here, but I think this is a good question. Hopefully, you might want to answer it. If not, I can ask other ones. You can ask me questions. You can click away like you just did. It is what it is. Guess he's in edit for voting now. Not quite, though. Well, no, probably. Probably. Precisely. Oh. This has been so fun. Thank the Lord there's been a couple commenters, though. Even if it was briefly, because I'm getting a little bit worried about Mark and Kelly. I'm sort of hoping that the person that just tuned in may be them, but either way, this one's just been a bit quieter. So let's get this party started, yo. Into that. Like, well, maybe they thought this doesn't seem like much of a party, and maybe it doesn't, but we'll get there. Sure, we'll get there. Hmm. Also, I think that, but I didn't point from one on the other. Like, alert to. So, going back to these uh, questions again, you can choose to answer these ones. I can go on to another one. You can ask me questions as well if you like. And that's a really great question, too. I think these are so just asking some random questions. You can choose to answer any you wish to. Okay. But I'm not going to do it if someone's just going to be there for a few seconds. I find it really actually odd and strange how many people are doing that this morning. Not the kind of thing I see very often. You guys are putting me back to sleep, I tell you. You're hypnotists and you don't even know it. So, um, I still like this question, and I'm just gonna roll through questions. You can answer any you want. You can ask, okay. I mean, seriously, I feel like for people that don't just tuning in for the first time, and it's not a concept I do super often quite this way. I figured that I should say a little something first, but the process of that, they dash off. It's like I feel like out and about in public, I don't see people kind of just nope, nope, in the same way. Like it's strange, very strange. You are a Margaret. You're still learning that type of communication. I see. And you're also sort of feeling like there's somebody I might want to. There's lots of loved ones I'd maybe rather hear from more because I was closer to them. Okay. Um, and you sense that I still hold a fondness for having known you in my life. All fairly accurate, to be quite honest. And so, it's kind of like I don't want to, um, I want you to know that I'm always wishing you the best. That I'm, you know, you know, just if you ever wish to try and connect, I will do my best to be there. Um, and that I'm okay. That I'm fine. And I just, you know, you don't have to contact a lot of them, but I just ask that you know, you you hope for good things for them, because I can't give them to them anymore, and I certainly wish I could. How's that? She says. Well, thank you. Um, Now just watch for the beautiful signs and symbols of other loved ones that might pop in to keep you company. Um, Grandparents, I'm almost sensing. Ah, no, I find that a little bit odd. Oh, okay. I think I've heard of that. I still think it's odd. I've never understood steak and eggs for breakfast. Mind, I don't really like either all that much. Shaved cheese is supposed to grated cheese? Interesting. Um, Yeah, so I'm just kind of looking up ideas for a later meal that I'm going to have. I do have some questions before me as well that I'd like to bring into this. Um, I can remember them because I've looked at them a couple times because the tab is loading slow at the moment. But one of them is, never mind, you left. Thankfully, it came back to this tab quickly. Otherwise, I'd play. And I only went back to them because I thought, I should have given it a few minutes. What's usually a good indicator is if somebody comes in and they like pretty quickly. Although, some people may say, oh, they're just liking to like. But no, maybe they do really like something. They like the ambiance. They like my vibe. That's interesting. I've never heard of this before. It's a vegetarian advantage. I wouldn't mind the zucchini, perhaps, although I don't eat them very often. I wouldn't like the green peppers. Tomato slices. Yeah. Mushrooms. I have been eating a bit more lately. Onions. Yeah. Hollandaise sauce. Yeah. It doesn't say what that one menu said the other day that turned me off. That would be great timing for Mark and Kelly. Them to, I don't know. I almost want to say yes to that. Choose a boat. I've never heard of that phrasing. That would be a little bit funny to them, perhaps, that it's a veggie one and more likely for a vegetarian, but I want to add bacon. Well, it is kind of a unique one, so maybe that's why I'm interested in it. 400, $4.25 to add bacon, though. I'm not too sure. Obviously, this is the add-ons are just ones for other stuff too. Because I'm sorry, I mean this sounds a little odd. Veggies and hollandaise with bananas and Nutella. That one must not be meant to be on that list. It's kind of more of a breakfast. I mean, I'm still not a big fan of mushrooms, but I could eat them. Eggs and fruit. That's an interesting combo. Not too sure I like the sound of it, but it's an interesting combo. So one thing that, even though I say that I sometimes struggle to think of songs, one thing that sometimes happens is just in conversation, something will be said, often by me, but not only, and it's like, oh, that made me think of a song. That is the weirdest sounding thing I've ever heard of. It's called Glom's Guac, and it's cottage cheese patty, grilled, um, and served with egg and hash browns and toast. That just sounds kind of odd. But I guess it's the cottage cheese aspect of it that gives it the funny name. It's weird that they say they can be massaging, but not with people. Thank the Lord that ding. I had a tab open ages ago with a particular one. I actually do. I did just remember what it was called, and I don't know if this place serves all day breakfast. I'm seeing what the delivery fee is though, and I'm wondering about the other one. So since I'm remembering it, although I don't know where the tab because I have too much open. Um, it's weird that it doesn't find the research. It looks like it would find the website in general, but I kind of remember what I selected. This time it doesn't want to let me do it. It doesn't put the same things on the cart, though. Okay. So delivery fee. Where's the delivery fee? So it is. I believe that's 79 cents cheaper. And what was I looking at there before? Maybe I don't remember. But since I remember what the place name was, like it's not a place I've actually ordered from or ever been to, and I'm ever so slightly surprised that I remembered it. And since I did, I'm thinking, depending on how many of those cheese sticks there are, 1850 is a bit much. That's interesting. I don't know if I remember seeing that before. It's chili and it's got bacon in it. I'm a bit particular about certain beans. My stomach or lentils. But and yeah, I do think of the group. But requested time unavailable. What, they open at noon only? Possibly. Okay, but this one's open, so let me keep looking here. But if I did have any kind of like reaction, I'm not really doing much until March. I think there's got to be something. There might be something that pops up, but um, and I think I have another meeting. Yeah, definitely book people then, but and possibly another one through the same place. But if I'm not feeling up to it or don't know what I'd want to talk about, then I can just arrange for call someone to. It is good to have the consistency at the same time. So, what am I doing? I have some Q&A fun that I can bring into this, and we can ask each other mutually. If you have any song requests, you're welcome to request them. And otherwise, I'm looking for either lunch or dinner. I'm just looking up some options. Um, yeah, so I'm curious, to hear where this one's been a bit quieter. It really has. It's been kind of odd, actually. Hey, whatever. And that's why people like you. Just kidding. Just kidding. So we're just sending something to somebody quickly, and the person that just tuned in might be that somebody, or maybe not. Looks like not, since it looks like you already left. It sounds like she might be able to tune in, which is really nice. Turkey's quite busy. This other person there. I just didn't want to make it super obvious. Like a brief moment doing so is fine. But other than that, it's kind of like, Well, we both have to find something. And I know the kind of things he likes. So and I'm also kind of looking in case there's something else I'd rather have. Like, I really am going to cook bacon. But, I guess that sounds better. Yeah, I'm no good at math or whatever. Like, it says 5 ounce chicken breast. I'm like, 5 ounces doesn't mean anything to me, really. But I guess that sounds like it's a pretty good size. I'm bad at visualizing that kind of thing. That sounds interesting. Garlic, herbs, spices. I mean, there's very few herbs or spices that I dislike, for the most part. With Swiss cheese, lettuce, mayonnaise, and bacon. It sounds interesting. I kind of think it would sound even better without the chicken. But I mean, the chicken is only going to be as big as it would likely be in a burger. So, and again, it's very hard to find a place that does not mean, uh, which I did find a bit better. It's interesting that places ever serve, I guess, what they're calling shaved hash browns or like shredded, because every now and then they're nice, crispy. They're nice and crispy. Most of the time, they often seem undercooked, in my experiences. And in a way, it kind of still tastes all right, but you kind of feel like you're eating raw potatoes. But I'd rather get nicer character. Um. Now the only thing about this, I forget what I said was on it now, but we can edit that. Like, I think with all that other stuff, the tomato I could probably ignore. And the other one said tomato slice is. This one says just tomato. So it's probably just one. And that's standard on a burger. Um, yeah, no, I think I'd like any of that. The thing is that, well, I don't know how easily, I don't even know if it's going to be easy to use this gift card in general that we have. And if it is, I don't think it's going to be an easy way to use it. But I have a bit more hope that it might be on here. In which case, let's spend the whole 50 so we can get rid of the thing that's been hanging around forever. See, with that one, being a Spanish omelet, I would imagine that it would say spices and possibly beef. But it doesn't. So I don't know what really makes it Spanish. Zucchini, maybe. I don't know. Nothing else really seems to say it. Not that zucchini does, to me anyway, but I've never heard of this. Santorini omelet. I guess it's the olives and the feta, so it's Greek. I don't really like feta cheese, though. It's actually interesting. It's weird, actually, I think. I would think it'd be weird if you wanted it. Teriyaki sauce on an omelet. That's odd. But it's creative, and I do give them points for being creative. And I like that, in a way. Really, anything anyways I'm not interested in, to be quite honest. I don't know why the omelets are showing under the sandwiches. Like under a chicken sandwich. That doesn't make much sense. Maybe it was unintentionally put in that way. That's different, although there are such a thing as dessert pierogies, because it says it's served with a strawberry sauce. So, okay, or gravy. So they're not dessert pierogies, but yeah, I guess strawberry and cheddar might work. Actually, they're cottage cheese. I don't think that has a super. I probably, anybody who eats it often probably like it definitely does, but I don't, so I don't think that it has a distinct flavor. Mix and match any fillings. Well, that would mean we'd have to know what the options are. So I'm just looking at some meal ideas, but I'm also open to doing a fun Q&A. I'm also open to doing some music if you have any song requests. It's just I haven't eaten much today, and my stomach is speaking to me as well, sort of. Um, I don't think you could hear it. In fact, it hasn't been rumbling, but it probably could start to. We got 5 likes. Woohoo! I have a slight sense that I might be familiar with one or both of the people that have just tuned in. I'm thinking one since you've liked. Um, what I remember without changing tabs is one of the questions was what has been something that had been a struggle for you that gave you great personal growth? The other one was what was a I don't like either of the words that it used, but basically a stigma, let's say, or a something that you don't really accept or like, but you had something come up in your life that made you question it. I think was essentially the question. I've already forgotten what the first one is myself. And I don't, I mean, I'm pretty open minded and laid back, so I don't know if I could easily think of something for the second one. I'm not saying that if you're able to think of something, fairly quickly, that, that you're not open minded and laid back. But I don't know, I haven't, um, although yesterday was quite a busy social day, and I feel like there could be an example in there. I'm not sure. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of thinking about someone that I've recently met who I feel is into some unkosher types of media, but is a perfectly nice person. So that's kind of the only one I could think of as far as that. And what was the other question? I might have to go back to that tab. Um, Curious who gave the fifth like, and if you could please welcome you in to say hi. Oh, I'm going to change this to all chat because it was on top chat. And what's this one on? It should be on all. So if there's anything coming in, I should see them. I can only do as best as I can do with the devices I have. Um, I can almost make it out without clicking the actual tab, but like seeing a preview of it, but it's a little too blurry. So let's see here. Oh, right, a struggle that has been led to personal growth. Um, I feel like in some ways I'm still kind of in that mode, but I'm sure that I've had a lot of growth, and I'm ready to get out of that, and I think the other day was actually a good step in the right direction for that. Um, Other than that, I'm not really sure. Although I do feel like, although it initially came to me, early on in the way of being, for lack of a different way to put it, but I do feel like it. I could say that it is how I developed my sailing ability. So now I'm gonna go back to the tab I was on and rely on other people. I mean, it's too bad that I can't start working on my order because I bet that that place probably is open at noon, and then it would work. Or maybe they aren't open on Sundays at all. Well, that sounds weird. I don't know, but that's neat. Rudy's with grilled veggies. That's a neat combo. It might give me the filling suggestions when I open it. It's just I'm particular. Like I don't. There are some veggies that I don't like, and I don't, and it doesn't really specify what they are, and I'm not too sure if when I click in it will. Ground beef, ranch, cheddar cheese. It sounds quite yummy. Ooh, these are interesting. All of this is very interesting, but it's not telling me the type of veggies, so that's kind of turned me off. Whether it's turned me off of the whole place, I don't know. I found a couple things that sound good. pierogies with Bothwell cheeses and beans, like fried beans. And I'm guessing, well, no, it's going to be beef on top of it. I mean, it sounds quite amazing. It's just I don't want them to go wasting veggies. I might have to call and ask them, actually. Maybe I'll do that. It's weird that they want you to choose a side. I mean, pierogies, they are kind of potato based, but they don't really seem like they are, I would say. But having hash browns with them would be a little bit odd, I think. I don't know. And I wouldn't have thought there was a whole lot of difference between pan fried and deep fried. But I guess pan fried would be a little healthier. It'd be so interesting to see how a commercial kitchen operates, but hectic would be one word for it, and so not that interesting to me. But yeah, I have some Q&A. At this point, I'm kind of just thinking, let's make some up ourselves to ask each other. Um, and if you have any song requests, you're welcome to put them, and hopefully your comments will show up if you're putting them. Because it seemed to have been a bit of a glitch, then they seem to have fixed it. Now it's kind of hit and miss, but yeah, so I'll just call them and say, what are the veggies? And then say, withhold this. Now, let's choose the first one. Okay, so I did. Choose the second one. Yeah, so you're welcome to comment. I'm otherwise looking for lunch. And I think I found it. So, this is really weird. It's a pierogi with pizza filling. And this one has mashed potatoes and onions in it. I mean, I eat pizza. I mean, it might be what we end up having for lunch if we don't have, depending on. That being said, we get 4 by the looks of it, maybe 5. And so I need to pick something. And I really don't think I like cottage cheese, and I wouldn't know the difference. Honestly, I feel like cottage cheese, ricotta, and feta are all very similar. It's coming from someone who doesn't eat them very often, but so. And we won't be able to really tell them apart. So, do I want to try them? I think I'm going to really like the Mexican one, so I'm going to select. I really only selected 4 so far. It's too bad that I have to select one of these sides. I'm going to pick a free side, but I'm really kind of, sort of, feelings is a unique thing, but I'm really kind of craving bacon. I know last time we had a bit of a disagreement on comfort level, so we didn't want that to happen again. And when he comes down very soon, I kind of want to look at this and see Smoked, like I don't really eat fish, but smoked meat and smoked fish, again, it's not what I think it means. Um, but with the bacon, if it's not crispy enough, I just make it crispy. And I understand vegans' points of views or whatever, but I'm not one, and I'm not going to be. So, vegan vegetarians. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. So yeah, if I roll again in a few hours, then if he wants to, he might catch Mark and Kelly then.